Okay, welcome back to White Tiger Kenpo Purple Belt, lesson number 8. In this lesson, we're going to finish off on long 1, go through the last 5 techniques. We're going to go over drawbridge A and B as well as full Nelson. So let's bow in and we'll get started. Okay, let's do long 1. Now there again, I'm not going to go into details with these techniques. You should already know these. We've learned most of the techniques in the last few lessons you've had with purple belt. And then the rest of them are orange belt, which if you're doing these techniques, you should already know your orange belt material. If not, you need to go back and review. So, in the last lesson, we left off with guarding the wall. Guarding the wall was coming from about 430 position. We did a ridge hand to the groin with an eye shot. Now we got striking fang B coming from the 6 o'clock position. So we're going to adjust our foot towards 6 o'clock as we do striking fang B. Then from striking fang B, we now have a 2-man attack. One coming from 3 and one coming from 9 from behind. So we're going to go into eagle pin. Plant the foot down about 3 o'clock, somewhere between the 3 and 4:30 position. As soon as you do, you're going to immediately go into driving elbow. From driving elbow, we have a kick-punch combination coming from the 12 o'clock position. So we're going to go into scooping the kick C. Followed by scooping the kick, we're going to go into a scimitar for a right punch. And then to finish this off, we're going to do rising elbow for a bear hug from behind. Then we step forward with our right foot to the 3 o'clock position, back to our square horse stance, back to our Kenpo salutation, and we bow, and that would conclude long 1. So let's go through this again. From guarding the wall, here, we're going to go to striking fang B towards 6 o'clock. 3 and 9, we're going to do eagle pin. Plant the kick down about 3 to 4:30. Then we're going to go into driving elbow. From driving elbow, we're going to go into scooping the kick, which is a punch-kick combination. Then we got a right punch, so we're going to go into scimitar. From scimitar, we've got a bear hug from behind, so we're going to go into rising elbow. Step forward to 3, back to square horse, facing 12, and we go into our Kenpo salutation and bow. And that concludes long 1. So one last time through that last section. So we got guarding the wall from here. Striking fang to 6. 3 and 9 is eagle pin. From eagle pin, we're going to immediately go into driving elbow, followed by scooping the kick, go into scimitar, and then the final technique is rising elbow. Step forward, bow, and close, and you are done with long 1. So make sure you practice long 1 and short 2 as you go through this, because they are on your test when you go to try for your purple belt rank. Okay, so now let's look at the next 2 self-defense techniques. The first one we're going to look at is drawbridge A and B. Drawbridge is for a right lapel grab, I should say a right lapel grab to your left, right hand to your left lapel. As we do this, you want to pin the hand, just like we do. As soon as someone grabs, you want to pin. Now you don't want to, you can hang on if you want, but you don't want to really just grip it, okay? At this point, it's just a mild check or a mild grab, however you want to do it at this point. As soon as they do that, we want to immediately step forward with a punch, or a web hand, I should say, to the throat. This will do 2 things. One, if they can't breathe, they're not going to be able to fight. So from there, if you get a good, strong fight, it pretty much is going to end this particular confrontation. The second thing is, by stepping forward and doing this, we are preventing this guy over here, not this guy, but this hand, from throwing a punch. So if they've got a grab, chances are there's a left punch coming. So we want to neutralize that punch as best we can. So by stepping forward and striking the throat, that does 2 things. That intercepts any punch that might be coming. It also gives them less target to strike with. Now as you step forward, you want to step forward and around their leg. So you want to step to behind the right leg. So as you step forward, you want to get to the outside of that right leg as you strike, because from there you're going to go into a tiger jaw, hang on to that throat as you pivot and trip them over your right leg and drop them to the ground. From there, you're going to drop your right knee into the rib cage. The head will most likely pop up as you throw a vertical punch or an inverted punch, depending on how close or far you are to them, to finish off the technique. So again, you pin the hand or grab, then you're going to step forward, web hand to the throat as you step, followed by a tiger jaw, pivot your body to a hard bow to face about the 6, somewhere between the 6 and the 730 position as they fall over your leg. And then from there you're going to drop your right knee. You may need to shuffle in to rake those ribs and follow with a vertical punch. So again, pin, step forward and strike. Now the strike, like I said, it's going to do two things. It's going to push them back, and at the same time their knees will probably start to buckle. So what's one reason we want to grab the throat? To try to keep them from going down too fast. So don't hesitate when you do this, because as soon as you hit someone in the throat, they're most likely going to try to drop on you. So as soon as you hit, pivot. Okay? So that's one complete move. So 1, 2. Okay? Just like that. Then drop and punch. Okay? Again, from this angle, we're going to pin. Now as we pin, we also want to start, something I forgot to mention, is you want to kind of sidestep just a little bit to the side. Just enough so that when you step in and behind, you're lining things up for the takedown. So it's just a slight sidestep. At the same time, strike, pin, and punch them in the face. Okay, again. So we're going to pin. We're going to step forward. We're going to sidestep just slightly. And you don't always have to do this. This is really going to depend on the situation where you're at. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. It just depends on my opponent. But I like to make sure the students know that there is that option of stepping out, getting further away from that punch. It makes it easier. Sometimes you can tell if you're not maybe fast enough to come in and do this. You might want to do the side step just a little bit, just to give you a little bit more leeway in case that punch does come. So we're going to step and pin, then we're going to step forward and strike, and then immediately pivot, drop your knee into the ribs. As the head comes up, you're going to punch it back down with a vertical punch. Okay, again from here. So step, strike, drop them, knee drop, vertical punch. Okay, again, step and pin, strike straight out, grab the throat, pivot, drop. This will basically trip them over your leg as they fall on their back right here. You just take this knee and you just kind of rake down those rib cages as they come up from that strike. You strike the head back down, and that is drawbridge A. Now, drawbridge B is the exact same thing. It's just done slightly different. Now, I also teach my students, let me show you drawbridge B, and then I'll show you different follow-up for it that I teach my students sometimes. The B version is just like A, in the sense that we're going to step out, strike, and take them down. But from here, we're not going to drop our knee onto their ribs and punch them. We're going to grab the hand, pull up on the arm. At the same time, we're going to strike or heel kick right into the rib cage. Then we're going to take our right foot and dance her back, drop to our knee as we bring the elbow over the knee to break. Now, as I said, there's a variation to this that I teach that I let students do if they don't want to do it that way. And the reasoning is this: sometimes as people go to do this and dancer, they slip, depending on their conditions. They may end up dropping their knee onto like glass or rock that would make it even harder to do this technique. So I show them a different way to do this, and you get the same result, and it's a little safer, and that is we use a forward leg arm bar. So as we come in and we heel kick the guy in the ribs and jerk his shoulder, his arm, which we're trying to do is dislocate that shoulder. So we're pushing the body this way, at the same time we're putting the arm, pulling it, okay? Then from here, you just stance your back, but you don't drop. You bring the arm across your shin so that the elbow is right here, and then you break it over your shin this way. This gives you a little more stability. It keeps you up in case there's multiple attacks, and it keeps your knees from being damaged in case you are in an environment that might cause damage to the knees by dropping it down. So you have two ways you can do the B variation of drawbridge. There again, the first way, just like A, you pin, you step forward, web hand, grab the throat, pivot, and then on the first variation, you want to stomp kick right in just above, just below the shoulder, and try to jerk that shoulder right out of its socket. And then you're going to dance your back, drop your knee, and then bring the arm right over the knee. Now, if you're practicing this with a partner, be extremely careful, okay? If you slip or anything, there is a good chance you could end up accidentally breaking or damaging their arm. That's another reason I teach the forward leg arm bar. It's a lot safer, and there's less chance of your partner being hurt. And there's less chance of you hurting your knees, dropping to the ground like that. So the variation to this, if you want, that we do accept, is you come in and you strike, take them down, still dislocate that shoulder, then you're going to step back, and you're going to bring that arm right across the shin. Now the other reason we teach this is height. A lot of times we have found when we've done this technique, if you don't hit the throat just right, maybe you hit them in the chest, but you got the takedown, but you don't really have them softened up. They're stunned, but they're not out. Which happens is when you go to pull the arm over your knee, they just sit up. In which case, the technique isn't going to work at that point. But by doing this, you can still get it to work, and it's a lot harder for them to counter it. So again, drawbridge A, pin, throat, grab, pivot, drop your knee onto their shin, they bounce up, vertical punch to the face. B version, pin, web hand to the throat, tiger jaw, pivot, stomp kick to dislocate that shoulder. Variation 1, drop to your knee, bring the elbow over your thigh and break. So you want the elbow past the here. So the elbow should be out here when you go to do it. And there again, you may not break it, but you should be able to at least hyperextend or tear those tendons and make the arm hard to use. The other variation that you could do starts off the same way. Pin, web hand, tiger jaw, pivot, stomp kick, dance your back, but this time do a forward leg arm bar and break it right over your shin. This keeps you upright, and you don't have to drop to your knees in case the environment that you're in doesn't allow it. Okay, that's drawbridge A and B. Now your final technique is called full Nelson. This is just what it says. It's for a full Nelson, hand in the air. So when you do this technique, first thing you want to do is push back with your head as hard as you can. Now the reason is if you're pushing back, they're going to push forward. So as when you start to feel them push forward, you're going to immediately drop your body weight as low as you can and do a hammer fist to the groin. This will allow you to kind of slip through those arms because they're going this way, and then you're just going to drop your gravity underneath them. So again, push back and then hammer fist the groin. Now from here you should know the rest of this. Heel palm grab, and you go into circling elbows. Okay? So again, full Nelson, push the head back, and then just immediately drop and hammer fist, heel palm grab, circling elbows, and there you have full Nelson. So from here, hands up, push back, drop and hammer fist, heel palm grab, snake in and around as you go into circling elbows. Okay, from this angle, push, hammer fist, heel palm grab, circle around, and go into circling elbows to finish off full Nelson. Okay? And those are your next two self-defense techniques. The rest of your kata, that gives you a lot to practice until your next lesson. Once you have that down, you can go on to lesson 9. Until then, It's been great working with you, and I hope you keep moving forward.